Okay, guys, the red light is shining bright, which means it's time to take flight right here, live on episode number 23 of the No Fluff Marketing Show. And today I'm absolutely thrilled to be sharing the mic with Brad Sugars, the mastermind behind ActionCOACH, the world's leading business coaching franchise as ranked by Entrepreneur Magazine. Brad, a big warm welcome onto the show, buddy.
Well, g'day, and it's good to be here live from my home office in Las Vegas. So as we're all on virtual land, it's like a whole different way of doing things.
Certainly is. And happy belated Easter as well, of course.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting, how you celebrate things in this world has kind of changed, I guess. It's like, how are we celebrating that? I know our kids have done more drive-by birthday parties than you could imagine at this point.
Yeah, interesting times for sure. Can you tell the live viewers if you've been anywhere restful and relaxing inside your own home this year? What's your favourite getaway room?
It's interesting. We're very, very lucky in that I've done quite well over the years. So we live in a very large house. But we do have 5 kids, so it's like, finding a space where none of them are is the fun part of it, especially with the whole homeschooling thing and running. We have 9 companies and we're still running 8 of them. Only one of them we've had to shut down. It's a restaurant in one of the casinos here in Las Vegas, so it was shut on day one. And we're lucky that one of our businesses, our commercial cleaning business, is booming right now, obviously, with the disinfectant cleaning stuff. But most of them we've had to pivot just to keep alive and go virtual and viral and make things different. So been busy.
And of course, practicing what you've been teaching as well, because I know you're a big fan of eating your own cooking, and pretty much anything you provide to people is what you're doing as well, right?
I like the social media post of practice what you post. I like that that thinking. So. So I've been out teaching now every day. I'm teaching multiple different groups with multiple different strategies, everything from, I started teaching 6 weeks ago when the crisis first really started. Here's how you get through this, because this is my 4th economic downturn, and a pandemic economic downturn is different to the financial economic downturns. And I will speak pretty matter-of-factly today, and I'm not trying to be insensitive to the fact that this is a human crisis. I'm not an expert in that. I'm an expert in the business side of it, so I'll apologize if I come across as insensitive to that, but I'm trying to get business people surviving as fast as I can. No, that's brilliant. And I know the 10 steps that you're going to be walking through it's just actionable gold, and I look forward to sort of getting into that in a moment. And I got a surprise for you. I added an 11th one on the weekend, so I was like, all right, I'm going to throw an 11th one on there. So.
Oh, beautiful. Well, that's just bonus time, so I look forward to the 11th. And I know this isn't my interview, but just for contextual sake here, I have 2 girls, 2 dogs, 3 companies, and one very understanding wife that I from time to time help with homeschooling, but very little time for anything else bar sleep. And I know you're actively involved with homeschooling your 5 children whilst running, like you mentioned, no fewer than 9 companies. So naturally, you've also got an amazingly supportive wife, right?
Yes.
But you must have some fantastic teams and high-performing systems, to oversee 9 businesses simultaneously. And I just wonder, can you give us a brief insight into how you manage your time so efficiently well?
Well, I'll say there's 3 secrets to that, and they're not secrets. They're pretty simple. Number 1, have a great executive assistant. If you want to be successful in life, you need an assistant who runs your life for you. There's no 2 ways about it. Those are some of the things that you just have to do. I think the second is be disciplined. Be disciplined with your time and don't give it away where it doesn't need to be, and have it actually planned out. What the time of the day on the I think the 3rd day of this, my wife put a schedule down for the family and said, "This is the schedule, is what we're going to survive." And she called it our long weekend schedule. I didn't realize the weekend was going to be this long. And I think the third thing, you build your people, they build your businesses. And so prior to this, I used to run all 9 companies by working Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 till 3, and do all of my media interviews and stuff like that. So, and build content and all those things. I only work 2 days a week. So now working 4 days a week has really pushed me to just step up the game on the level of interviews and the level of media that I'm doing, and the level of content I've put out there. I mean, about the 5th day into this, I sat with my team and said, I'm going to record a whole program right now on how to do this. And my chief content officer looked at me and said, where are you going to do that? Because you're not allowed in the TV studio, because we have a full TV studio at the office. And I said, you're going to drop me off a camera and some lights, and I'm going to do it in my house. And I did. And so we created content and just, so I think that most of us right now, and this is the biggest thing, is your head's got to get into taking action and being, this is not a crisis, this is an opportunity. And if I don't take advantage of this opportunity, it's never going to come again. An opportunity doesn't come your way like this very often, where you get the chance to have literally tens of thousands or millions of potential customers looking to see what they're going to do next right now. And from a marketing perspective, oh my God. And I will, I'll actually, Jonathan, make sure we give people the link. I did a full hour on marketing in viral times a week or so ago. So if we can give people the link to that, I put it up on my YouTube as well, or maybe you can throw it up as well. But I think it's vital to do that. We'll talk a bit about marketing in the 10 points or the 11 points now.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And you've just smashed it straight out of the park, haven't you? The opportunity, you've got to be looking at, there's 2 ways to look at this, isn't there? There's the opportunity, or there's let's just ride it out and hope, and see what happens.
The first time, my first ever economic downturn, I messed it up because I did that. I just try and hunker down and that was stupid in the end. I didn't realize it was stupid at the beginning because I'd never been through one. And then my second one, I knew I had to take action. I didn't take anywhere near enough action because I didn't really know what I was doing. Third one, 08, I smashed it out of the park. Our business grew phenomenally because of it. And this one, I believe the same. Now, this is a different one because if you look at those, they were financial. You had the junk bonds, you had the internet bubble, you had the real estate bubble. This one, a third of businesses are on absolute boom right now. A third of businesses, and it's not always exactly a third, but it's about that in different markets around the world. We coach in 81 or 82 countries. And because of that, I have to try and manage where we're looking at. But if you think about all of those businesses that are in boom right now, like I was on the phone with one of our clients the other day, they are a model train business. They are selling more model trains today than they've ever sold before because people are at home and they're bored. Yeah. Another of our clients, a jigsaw business, cannot keep up with demand. Just can't keep up with demand. Another one that's a conveyor belt business. Again, the level of demand from them right now. And so you got that third of businesses, including the grocery stores and all of that sort of stuff. At the other end, you got a third that are just shut down, like my restaurant. It's just shut. It's done. We've furloughed all the staff. We have no costs running, and therefore we're not losing a lot of money, but we're not making any money either. We're not making a profit. Yeah. So it's not like we can draw any salaries or anything out of it. So that's a bit tough. But then all of my other companies are in the middle, like most businesses, where you've had to work a way to pivot, change, survive, and then thrive. And that's what I've taught everyone. The first goal is a plan to survive. Your second goal is a plan to thrive in this thing. And I've seen amazing pivots. One of our companies, a food truck business, it's spring here. Food truck season in spring is 50 to 60% of our annual revenue gone. So we had to spin the entire business and become a provider of family meals. Back when no one could get to the grocery store, we became a provider of family meals because we could still get it at wholesale. Went to our commercial kitchen, and now we provide dinners. 300-400 people get dinner a night from our commercial kitchen in bulk. And another pivot. I had a client that literally in the steel business, but they mostly manufacture for construction industry, mezzanine floors, all that sort of stuff. And their business was shut down. The construction in their state was told it's not essential. So they said, what are we going to do? They started manufacturing barbells, dumbbells, weights, and built an entire online website overnight, and they're selling it. They had to pivot to what was working. So
it's time to be creative, is what you're saying, isn't it?
Well, you go back to 08. 08 is when Uber was born. 08 was when Airbnb was born, Instagram, all of these great companies that are born because ideas that you thought were stupid, that now you're running with them and going, oh, this is brilliant.
Yeah, totally. It's so interesting. I mean, we talk about pivoting in businesses, but think about pivoting in terms of your consumers' behavior. They're pivoting, like you say. People are ordering online. They're playing different games, learning new skills. You're taking out the experiential external circumstances, and it's like, well, they're confined between four walls.
We have sped up the virtualization of the world by 5 to 10 years in this last 4 weeks. So you've got to think of it that way, that the virtualization of the world, we were going there, but now we've just gotten there 10 years, 5 years faster than we were before. Yeah,
and with that, obviously, a lot of businesses are plunged into that economic fall, without seeing it so quickly. So, time is of the essence. And with that, we'll get into your 10 steps very quickly. But I just want to talk about, because in that 27 years that obviously you've been doing Action Coach, you say you've been through 4 notable downturns. But what most viewers won't necessarily know is that you actually started Action Coach in the middle of a recession. In the face of economic adversity and all that, your executive team.
And I just thought that was normal times. So it was like, once the market had started going well, it was like this rising tide floating all boats thing was a lot of fun. Yeah. So, if you can survive in these times, then you'll thrive in the big times. And that's what the cycles, the economic cycles are a 7 to 10 year cycle. And it was interesting. I was chatting like late last year with some friends about, listen, we're on an 8-year run. We're on an 8-year bull run here. Where is the negative going to come that'll be the downturn for us? And we were looking at Brexit. We were looking at the US elections. We were looking at all sorts of things. And none of us predicted. I mean, how could you predict a pandemic? No. The only people in the world that predicted a pandemic was Wimbledon. They took out pandemic insurance after the SARS event, and I think they collected £150 million on insurance right now.
And maybe Bill Gates on TEDx back in 2014, but hey, he didn't say when, did he?
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of people that have a lot of theories around this sort of stuff, and all I have is a theory on how to survive an economic downturn.
And that's all that's important, is looking after your business, your family. So totally. So I guess for the majority of us right now, Brad, the goal is survive, but at the same time be smart, learn, and act to create this foundation that then allows people to thrive out on the other side. So if we can plunge into step 1 of your 11 steps today. I think that's as good.
Let me throw that up on screen so that we can have that, and I will put it to the other one. That one there.
Yeah, have to be different monitors.
Yeah, that's right. I've got to do it on the other thing, don't I? So hit share. And then I'll tab. There we go. So I use the word pivot because I think it's what we've got to do as business people. Number one, it's very important for us to understand that communication must be heightened in a time of downturn. You must increase your communication 5, 10, 15 times as much as you did before. It must get more personal. You must be on the phone to your customers, on the phone to your employees. Your employees, if you're not focusing them on somewhere positive, they're going to get into fear, panic, and worry. You've got to be the person out front. You've got to be that. And leadership today is really about being way out in front of the market. Leadership is about being seen. You've got to be doing video. You've got to be live on Facebook. You've got to be doing these things so that everybody can get a feeling that you are leading them, and be honest about survival in the beginning, but then talk to them about we're going to find a way to thrive, and talk to your suppliers, talk to your landlord, get on the phone to them, be proactive with everybody. Don't just wait. We'll get to customers in just a little while. I think that's important. And here's why this is important. When a pandemic kicks in or any negativity kicks in and there's a massive change, people go into different emotions. What your job is to leapfrog. Well, see, what I do as a coach is I leapfrogged all my clients and all my staff in my companies straight from denial to problem solving. And then, and so we skipped over frustration, anger, and all of that wasted 2 weeks. And what you've got to do with your staff is exactly the same. You've got to get them straight to problem solving. So give them a focus, give them a goal to focus in on. Nice. Second thing I say we got to look at is your business model. The business model that you have right now may or may not work in this cycle. And so what we've got to look at now, my change formula there, if you want on YouTube, just type in Brad Sugar's change formula on YouTube. There's a whole video on it. But what this stands for is dissatisfaction multiplied by vision plus the first steps has to be greater than resistance. And here's the first thing about this. In a pandemic or a downturn, there is almost no resistance to change because people are forced into change. It's like the pressure to change is greater than the desire to stay the same. But you've still got to give them a vision. You've still got to give them somewhere to go, and you've still got to give them the first steps. In most businesses, that's like 100 small pivots, moving to a VPN, moving to Zoom, moving to this, moving like the 100 small pivots. In some businesses, it's the massive pivots. Like my wife's one of the stores she buys all her clothing from. It's a retail store. Well, you can't go to them. I said to him, he's a friend of my wife's. I said, well, you've got to get out and go to people. Throw all the clothes in your car, bring a rack, walk to their front door, have a rack of clothing sitting there and have them come out, try on whatever they want to try on and buy all of that and do it. And he's surviving with that sort of thing. You know, you've got to do that. Now, if you're going to pivot, there's 4 things you need to think of because these 4 things, in my latest book, which is called Pulling Profits Out of a Hat, you can jump on Amazon or Audible and get it on either of those, or you can go to bradsugars.com.
Fantastic
it goes
book.
through the 4. Oh, you've read that one? Fantastic.
Yeah.
It goes through and the weight of it. Did you get the hard copy or the audio version?
I did indeed. It's sitting right next to me.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 pounds. But the 4 things, the size of the opportunity, you got to pick a big opportunity. You got to pick something that's marketable. If it's not already selling itself, don't go into that. Don't pivot there. Leverage, you want to get a customer once that's on a repeat strategy because repeat business is where profit is. And scalability, it's got to get bigger. Like for my food truck business, we didn't go into doing all 20 menu items. We sat down and said, every night we're going to do 1 item. This is how we can do it. And that's how we could scale it to 400 people getting the same meal every night. It's like Monday night's this, Tuesday night's this, Wednesday night's that. That's what it is. And if you want anything different, go somewhere else. That's what we're doing tonight so we can scale it, reduce the price, and therefore make a lot more sales. So I think everybody's got to look at those things. The reality of virtual, the new normal, is not necessarily about the technology. It's about the human beings. The biggest challenge in managing human beings in a virtual world is that half of them will go, wow, this is amazing. I don't have to deal with any of these people that I used to have to deal with. And the other half are in massive alone feelings. So keeping them connected, the meetings that you're having and the reporting that you're doing. We use in all of our companies a simple three-a-day huddle. At the end of the day, we make sure every single person writes a list of what they've got to do the next day and comes up with the score of their 6 goals. So every single person has 6 goals for the day, and they've got to measure their numbers on that. It can be full-on numbers or it can be esoteric, like, you know, how were you with our company culture today? Rate yourself 1 to 10 on our corporate culture.
Okay.
So that huddle at the end of the day is how did you go today and what are you going to do tomorrow? The huddle in the morning, first thing is get everyone focused. We use what's called a whiffle, what I feel like expressing. Everyone says how they feel and where they're ready to go for the day. Our middle of the day is literally everyone basically sitting around having a chat as if we're having lunch together. What are the good things that's happened? And you know, silly things like what sport did you do when you were a kid? And people learning more about each other just to keep that social distancing down in a human format. Reporting every night, reporting every morning, every single day. Your reporting has to go to daily and your planning has to go to daily in a virtual world. It can't be weekly or monthly. Yeah. And here's why. As we ease restrictions, I want to see everyone in massive, you've got to be on an upswing as they ease restrictions. We've got to be already on that upswing, already moving towards somewhere where we're going to go. You know, we can't wait for the upswing for them to open and then start getting to work. We got to be there on a passionate, ready to go before it. The next one I think is we've got to be running a lot faster and a lot harder. If we're not moving faster now, then we're going to be in trouble when the market does open up. Because if you get caught flat-footed when the market opens up, your competitors steal your market share away. So don't get caught flat-footed when this thing reopens. And if you look at it, we're in warm-up phase right now. Some markets are starting opening. Some markets are going a little slower than others. It's just we're in that warm-up phase. And so we've got to be warming up fast. We've got to be ready for the game. When we open up, let's start sprinting and running. You've got to keep ahead. There's massive opportunities if you get the sprint. Marketing, which I know is your passion and what it is, I've just got to say that if you have not shifted your marketing message based on what's going on now, you're crazy. Watch that whole webinar I did on this. It's an hour-long one, but the messages that I'm seeing working today are no longer about sell and push and best deal and all of that sort of stuff. It's all about help, and it's all about cleanliness, and it's all about safety and all of these marketing messages. But the biggest one is you must be doing 5, 10, 15 times more marketing than you were before. Your marketing needs to be so much more right now than it ever was before. You have to be out there in the loudest, proudest, because your competitors have shut down their marketing. You get out there now, you win that entire battle. We saw Dell do that through the 2000. Like, they just won the whole thing because everyone else stopped marketing and they kept running and doing that.
And it's crazy, Brad, as well, just to really interject, for Facebook, I know, like, the points of interaction, for acquiring a customer can be anywhere from 50 to 500 right now. So it's absolutely nuts. You have to be out there in several channels. And that brings me to the next one. Sales is taking longer because of the fact that there is fear and worry and panic in the market right now. You've got to make certain that you understand that there are more touches needed, but your sales also has to be visible. So your marketing, if you're not doing more marketing, you're not doing more videos, you're not doing more stuff. Testimonials now are more important than ever, especially video testimonials. Video of how you use your product or service, video of how you do things. If you're not out there helping and doing and educating and working with the marketplace, you're not building relationships right now. Reviews mean more now than ever before. Ratings mean more now than ever before. All of these things, because the sales process, if you took, say, 5 steps to get them before, you're going to take 15, 20 now, because they're going to watch an extra video or watch an extra thing or do that extra step. Or sales are going the exact opposite, where you used to take 5 steps. Now, if it's massively in demand, people are just like, no, buy it now, please. Let's go. Like my coaching team are seeing this. People are calling up going, I need to start coaching today. Oh, really? Yes, today. Can we start now? And so they're gone from either where it used to be an average of 14 to 17 days. Now they're either immediate or they're 20 to 25 days before they'll make a decision. So keep that serious, much more questioning, much more customer focus, high level empathy, but you've still got to ask for the sale. And I want to add this point here, which I think, Jonathan, is important. I've seen too many business owners get too worried about what everyone else thinks of them when they're marketing and selling right now. Listen, you have the right to keep your doors open. You have the right to pay your bills and keep your staff employed. You have that right. So keep selling, keep marketing. Don't let anyone guilt trip you out of that stuff. Yeah, love that, buddy. Yeah.
Right now, customer service, you have to go above and beyond. I know in our cleaning company, our commercial cleaning company, all of the gymnasiums were shut, and we told all of them, we will keep cleaning you once a week. If you can pay us, pay us. If you can't pay us, fine. But we will clean you every week to make sure your place doesn't get too bad. So when you're ready to reopen, we're there with you. And a lot of them were just like, oh, thank you guys so much. We can't afford to pay you, or we can pay you half. And that comes back. We won a job for a massive disinfectant clean of a high-rise building of apartments because the brother of one of those guys that owns a gym ran this high-rise apartments and said, we need a disinfectant clean every single day. Can you do it? Yes. What price? This price. Great, we'll take it. All because we stood by our customers. You got to remember that. And the whole thing about making it visible, I use the word critical non-essentials. And what that means is it's not essential, but it's critical, like a handwritten note to someone, a postcard handwritten to them. It's not critical. It's not essential, but it is critical right now. Keep those relationships and build that loyalty. You've got to keep them no matter what. No matter what, you keep those customers, and it will help you on the back end of this thing. I believe this will be one of the shortest downturns economically we'll have seen. I see it. All of the economists are seeing this as a V-shaped recovery, not a U-shaped recovery or an L-shaped recovery. And economists are usually the most dour, sour, people in the world. So like getting them into that. Getting the most out of your people. Actually, Jonathan, there's a whole video I did also on Facebook, which was called Management versus Leadership. It's probably a year or so old now, but if you can get the link for everyone on that, that'll explain this dramatically, because management's about two things: competent, productive people, and leadership is about two things: passionate, focused people. And I don't have time to go into that a lot now, but if people want to watch that, there's a 20-minute video on Facebook for that one. Cost into profits is about take those people who are in cost centers and move them into profit centers. Take them out of cost centers, move them across to help the salespeople or help the marketing people or help the production people. Get them out of that and get them into making money for you. Number 9 is your mindset. In fact, in that 10-day training that I want, if you can give everyone a link to that, because it's free. I did the whole 10-day training for free. If everyone wants it, they can have it for free. I spent an entire half hour, one full day on this subject, because keeping your mind about you right now is the most important thing. Your team are watching you. The people around you are watching you as a leader. And if you can keep your mind about you, then everything else works. Yeah. I've been teaching all along. This is a 90-day, 2 lots of 90-day plans, a 90-day plan on how to survive, and then a 90-day plan on how to thrive. If you haven't got the survival plan, jump on actioncoach.com. My coaches are all doing 5 hours pro bono a week to help any business owner come up with a plan to survive this thing. If you need that, good. If you want to do the Thrive plan, we're going to charge you for that. But the Survive plan, we're doing it for free with every business owner out there in the marketplace. Awesome, get ready to relaunch this thing. Get ready to launch. And number 11, I added it on the weekend. Listen, there is a lot of opportunities coming your way right now. There is a massive amount of opportunity. If you get yourself through Survive and get yourself into Thrive, there are going to be companies, customers, everything's up for sale right now. The market is going to shift. This is one of the biggest shifts in economic attitudes that we've seen in a long time. So get on it, learn it, and follow it up. Make your 90-day plan. List down 5 things you want to do right now. And Jonathan, over to you for questions, my friend.
Cool, buddy. That's fantastic. And I know
I'm trying to get through it as fast as I possibly can and do that whole thing. So let me turn off. Let me make sure. Can I turn off the screen sharing, or have I done that already?
Yeah, that's gone from the stream.
Excellent. Brilliant.
And I really appreciate that. You've done that, you've done it very succinctly, but done it with some really great action points there, Brad, because I know you've got a 5-hour-long video training on all of this, going through each of those 11 steps in like half-an-hour chunks, which is, we'll put the link in the post for people to go and grab that. So really appreciate it, buddy.
Buddy, I appreciate everything you're doing, helping everyone learn this stuff so that they can survive through it. I really appreciate the time and energy you're putting into it.
Yeah, thank you very much. It means a lot. And I just kind of, while you were talking there, all the thoughts were going off like a fireworks show this side. But I kind of think with that authenticity and that personalized marketing approach and, standing up now and rising up, not hiding, now is the time, sort of face everything and rise, not, run from everything. So I just like that message that put through.
Turn your fear into focus right now and plan. Don't panic through this thing. Plan it so you don't have to panic through this thing. That's the biggest part of it for me.
Yeah, absolutely, buddy. And for me, personalized marketing, we've been talking about it all year in the group, in the No Fluff Marketing group. And it really is right now the only, especially B2B, it's the only type of brand personality that's resonating with audience, isn't it?
Oh, look, I know that all of my coaches around the world, I've told them, if I don't see you live on Facebook once a day, live on YouTube, if I don't see you on LinkedIn with a video every single day, or on, you will be getting in trouble. There's no two ways about it, because now is the time to be out there. And it's not out there in a negative way. It's out there helping. Business owners need our help right now. Get out there and start helping. And, and of course, that leads to people wanting to buy from us. And not everyone can buy from us right now, but those businesses that are in boom, they need our help as much as ever. They're pivoting to virtual recruiting, so they need coaching just as much as everyone else.
Yeah, and I'm saying to people now, what has this lockdown period, talking about behavioral, changes, what has it done? People have become more conditioned to video over these last 4 to 6 weeks. People are watching video, more of it. They're expecting more of it now. So people have to be doing it. But if I could just quickly go back to your mindset, step number 9, I think. But look, I love the fact that you're an author of 17 books. recent bestseller, Pulling Profits Out of a Hat, which, like I said, is essentially a Bible for business growth, and everyone should have that book. But, you know, you continue to advocate the need for learning and evolving. And I know one of your favorite mantras is, don't wish for things to be easier, wish you were better, which I've heard you say many times.
Jim Rohn, the Mr. Jim Rohn, James Rohn taught me that when I was 16 years old. Never wish life were easier, wish that you were better. And he told me if I read a book a week for the rest of my life, I would be guaranteed to be successful. And so that's all I did. It wasn't that hard.
And then that really plays out to what you're saying, seeing this time as the opportunity, because, you know, businesses at the end of this, when the mist, you know, rises, they're either going to catapult out of that and have a strong foundation to thrive, or they'll come out of it with a whimper or barely surviving, or they've gone. So, you know, the choice is there. It's two choices, really, isn't it? So,
well, I think there is only one choice. That's step up, build, thrive through this thing. Don't panic about it. You know, if you need to, if you're not surviving, then hey, reach out, speak to someone and get a plan to survive. And then once you've got the survival plan, which my team will do for free if you jump on actioncoach.com. And but then the thrive plan is where it's now, all right, we've got that, let's spin.
Yeah, that 5 hours pro bono is absolutely fantastic. Thanks, Brad. That's amazing.
I just hope it helps as many as we can, because there's only one way you save an economy, and that is if you save all the small businesses.
Yeah. I love that approach. And of course, you know, you filmed them to say the free 10-day video course. It's got 5 hours of solid, and I mean solid because I've been through a business training, goes into the nuts and bolts of the 11 steps that you've outlined here today. But it's all about pivoting, surviving, and thriving further down the track. Now, I'll put a link in so live and replay peeps can access that in the post. Please go and get that, guys. I implore you to go and get that. I've gone through it. Incredible free value. And you also have a bigger 30X program, which is just a little bit more in-depth training over 30 days, but again, focusing on how to survive and thrive.
Yeah, 30X was something I filmed before all of this. And originally it was thousands of dollars training program for people to come and do 30 minutes a day with me for 30 days. And when the crisis hit, my team said, okay, are we going to launch this, boss? I said, yeah, we are. And they said, okay, so pricing, I said $99. They all looked at me like I was stupid, but it's like, listen, let's just help everybody. $99 right now if they want the full 30X. It's crazy, but look, my team is here to help. That's what our goal is during this thing. Our vision of world abundance through business re-education has never been more prevalent than during downturned economies. From 2008 to 2012, we worked our tail off to help businesses survive, and we're doing the same right now.
Yeah, I love that, buddy. And I'll do a dedicated separate post in the group about that free training. And, you know, again, you're a great example of offering something on the front end so valuable for free that people are like, well, you know, it'd be stupid not to take the in-depth stuff and go further.
But I mean, at some point we may make more money off of it. The biggest thing is if we can keep the economies running, then everyone wins. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, today's been highly enlightening. I'm most grateful for your time, wisdom, and shared expertise. Thanks, Brad. But before we wrap it all up, it's a bit tradition. What would be one last piece of advice, you know, off the cuff that viewers can take away from today's interview?
Look, it's not business. It's not that. It's keep your sanity about you. You know, find something that keeps your sanity about you every day. Because, you know, it's easy to go crazy during this thing, but keep your sanity. I know on the weekends, I have no news weekends. It's like, I'm not watching the news on the weekends. I'm just keeping my head, be with the family, and have some sanity time.
I love that authentic message. Thanks, buddy. Highly valuable, timely pearl right at the end. Most appreciated. Thanks again for your time today, Brad. Go well, everyone. Stay focused, stay healthy. Mind, physical, spiritual. We'll connect again real soon. Thanks, Brad.